This makeshift cactus farm is going to be pretty important for today's episode. If we go ahead and take a look here, I AFK'd overnight on a brand new build, and this is what I've gotten here. So just the one layer of cactus gives me, was this 18, 19, or 18 and a half stacks of cactus. That's going to be just a little bit more than enough. So that was a mission success. We're going to have to build a couple other small things in order to get going with today's episode, though. No. Okay, well, there goes that farm. Hey out, everyone, this is Mopop, this is the Asgaard SMP, and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 16. We are just coming back to drop off some of the cactus, and we have some big stuff in store for today. We should probably build a proper building around that so that it's clear to other people that they are welcome to use it. It's kind of just hidden behind the iron farm right now, and that's not a super handy place for it. But for right now, we've got a bunch of other supplies here. These are all full of glass, as are these, and we're going to need to start dyeing it. Cactus is only part of the problem, though. We're going to need a bunch of blue dye as well. And so, coming back up off to the base here, you'll see that we have a bunch of the cornflower over here, and if we go ahead and just plop ourselves down right here, grab one of these, and stick that into the crafting table, that is going to give us some blue dye, so that's pretty cool. If we take up a bunch of these, there's not going to be enough of them probably around here to actually make all the dye that we need to, but if I get these out of the way and then go ahead and bone meal the area, we get some cornflowers back, which means that we can actually go ahead and farm these. And previously for blue dye, we were just converting the lapis over. This chest used to be full of lapis, but now we've been very much reduced down to just this little bit, so I figured building a farm out of the flowers was finally going to be an easier bet. So I wanted to take a brief moment to explain my absence over the last month or so since my last episode. I recently acquired a newer, faster SSD, and my plan was to use that as my primary drive, and then convert my old drive into secondary storage. I went to clone the original drive onto the new device, and that was a success. However, when then wiping the original drive, something got messed up, and both of them ended up getting cleared. I still have no clue how it happened, but data loss is never fun to deal with. So I've been spending my time rebuilding my library of assets like music, sound effects, graphics, and all that, which of course took time away from playing the game and editing videos. Everything is pretty much restored now, minus a few things that are essentially unrecoverable, but hopefully in rebuilding my YouTube library, the video quality has improved, as that was the biggest thing that I feared would suffer. And 12 stacks of the blue dye should be enough here. That was actually super easy to gather. I didn't have to AFK for too very long. I just kind of ran in circles for a bit and got it all up. It was really pretty fast, which is good because it was also really fast to actually build the farm. So let's go ahead and turn this cornflower into blue dye first off. And then combine it with this green dye. And now time to convert all of this glass. And with just a little bit of dye to spare, there we go. Cyan, 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 cyan everywhere. And that one's just empty. That's what I was using to keep all the dyes in. The monument is outlined with a rather large circle now. If we jump out of free cam and turn around, you'll see that we have all of our stained glass right here, ready to go. Let's go ahead and make a big cylinder and surround that ocean monument properly. So we still have a good bit of stained glass left because we're not quite done yet. We do have the whole thing going on down to where the current floor is, but we got to go a lot further in some areas. You'll see right here there is a floating gap underneath because we are going to bring the floor over to here, but then like over here it kind of just goes up, and we're going to need a lot of glass to whittle away at this and then fill in the new gaps that are created. But go ahead and take a look at this because this is a pretty cool. I love the cyan look against the water. I think it blends in really well, especially in this biome. But yeah, there is a lot more to do. I think first we're going to need to drain this thing. I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense sense to go in there and try to dig it out while working through the water. We are, of course, going to need a lot more sand, though, because I smelted all of it into glass, and I no longer have any of that. So we're going to need that in order to section this thing off and actually pull all that water out of here. And if you haven't seen this recently, the desert is very well picked over. At least that side of it is. If I come on over here, there is still plenty to go, but I wouldn't be surprised by the end of the season, we have the majority of this desert cleared out here. There's really only from here back to that tree line, but then of course we can jump over and there's some red sand. There's another area of desert back there that kind of wraps behind, and there's more desert here and there. So I really don't think there's any way we're going to get rid of all of it, but at least this mainland that we're on right here, this might be completely gone in really no time at all. I've made all 4 walls around this thing. Now, of course, we do still have to start slicing off the edges of this, and this is all the sand I have left. So maybe I can do this more shallow one, but we're definitely going to need a lot more sand because some of these are quite a bit deeper. Oh, okay, well, not that one. That's a bad example. The other side's a little bit deeper, and of course, there's this whole center. So yeah, we're definitely going to be going off back to the desert and grabbing a whole lot more sand. Apparently, there are no clouds in the sky. Oh, there they are. Nope. Oh, nope. Oh. I have determined that I would very much prefer to have a conduit running, so I am in search of a chest so that I can find a map to lead us to some buried treasure and hopefully get a heart of the sea. Haven't seen this before. Looks like somebody's already been here because there's only garbage in this. Onward and upward. And there we have the buried treasure map found inside of a shipwreck here. It's pretty dark, but we can kind of see what's going on. And it would appear that we have to fly roughly northwest in order to find where that's located. So hopefully that white dot starts moving not too long. It's getting bigger. That means we're getting closer. We're not still quite on the map yet, though. Okay, roughly around here-ish. Hey, that was easy. And there we go. Ooh, and we come into the top of the monument here, and we just had to place a couple blocks because half the structure's already here. And this thing started doing floaty bits. You can see like the heart of the sea on the inside there. And we have Conduit Power. Cool. I've never actually done this before. Oh, this is way better. It's even nighttime and it looks like that. The draining is starting. We have this whole area emptied out here, but now all of my sponges are wet. So real simple here. And if I go ahead and grab my ender chest, I have a hoe in there. Let me take this back before I forget it, and this should be pretty easy. So I was almost done emptying that out when I realized there's another ocean monument nearby. I was just kind of wandering around and saw this thing, which means that we can get more sponges. Not that I necessarily need them, but it could come in handy. So I am going to go ahead and defeat this monument so I can scoop those up. And on the way back now with an additional 30 wet sponges between the sponge room and the 3 from killing the Elder Guardian, and a couple of heads and a fun armor trim. So that's awesome. But here's where we're at right now. We have almost all this done. I'm going to get the rest of the outside done, and we'll probably leave the inside for a future episode. This is as far as we are going to get for today's episode. We have so much done. It has taken so very long, but I cannot wait to finally have this episode out. We now have the ocean monument perfectly outlined here, but we will be doing that in the next one. If you do want to see that video when it comes out, go ahead and subscribe and turn on the bell notifications so you get an alert when that video does drop. I cannot wait to see where this thing goes. I have a lot of really cool ideas in my head, and I really just want to bring them to fruition. I cannot wait. Like I said, I am so excited to keep on going with this one. But anyway, hopefully you all have enjoyed. Go ahead and subscribe for more, and I'll see you all next time.